Yeah. What's everybody fighting for? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of People Helping People. Feels good. Feels good. Man, as you guys know, we are on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule in at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you're just joining us for the first time, well, welcome. And this is a live show, meaning you can get involved in the conversation. Leave us comments below if you have questions, comments, feedback, anything at all for us. You can be involved, and that's what makes this show special. So I am really excited for everything that's happening right now with People Helping People, and none of this could be possible without you guys. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being along for the journey, for this challenge, for this endeavor, through everything that we've been through here at People Helping People, from technical difficulties to heart-wrenching moments, and learning as we go. I think that this show is just a testament that try your hand at new things, and it's okay to fail. Because as I sit here as a host, and sometimes, I'm not the best, and I know that, and that's okay. But I'm here getting my reps in, and I just want people to understand that it's okay to not be perfect, and it's okay to look back on the things that you have done. Like this show, I get to look back on the shows that I've done previously, and I get to critique myself. I get to look at the things that I would like to do more of, the words that I would like to say less of, how to become more poignant, how to become a better conversationalist. And the whole purpose of me saying that is, I want to advocate for you to go try something that you think that you would love to do in life. If you feel as though there's a calling, if you feel as though you have a skill set of some sort, but maybe it's scary to take that first leap, go get after it. And I am so excited for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. And as you guys can see, we are making all kinds of changes. We're zoomed in. I'm not supposed to be in 4K this close up, but we're zoomed in today. We got some different lighting in the background now. But yeah, we're ever evolving. We're trying new things. We're looking back at our pasts and growing from those experiences. So today is a very exciting show. We have an incredible guest on for you guys. But before we get to our guest, we have to mention our sponsors of the show. Tonight's show is sponsored by Mike Silkowski, your local partner in getting your message in front of the right people. Mike specializes in helping businesses right here in Southern Arizona reach their ideal customers through TV and streaming services. And he's not just sponsoring this Chapter 2 of People Helping People. He's building partnerships. And he doesn't succeed unless you do. If you're ready to grow your business with someone who's invested in your success, call Mike directly at 515-305-5311. Again, that's 515-305-5311. And we are just such a proud representative of Mike. He is just an incredible guy he's very well versed in what he does, and he is just the network guy. So if you guys need something, say that you're a local business, say that you have a nonprofit or some kind of advocacy program for helping people and you just want to get the word out, it does not hurt to have a conversation with Mike. Give him a phone call. Let him know what you have going on, and he will connect the dots. He will help you to find your perfect audience. And if your endeavor, your business, your whatever it is that you have going on doesn't align with him, he'll let you know. And he'll get you in with somebody that will. So, Mike, we appreciate you. Thank you for being a sponsor. And we couldn't go on without mentioning T-Town Boxing. Jake Wilson there at T-Town Boxing has built an incredible community of people. And they're not just a boxing gym. You can go over there, do kickboxing. You can do recovery classes, stretching, personal training. But if you want to get your juke on, learn the ones and twos, go hit up your boy, Jake Wilson at T-Town Boxing. That's located right here in downtown Tucson. So thank you for being a sponsor of the show. We love you, Jake. And we could not go on without shouting out Penny and Benny LLC. This shirt right here, we did 30 live shows in 30 days. And if you guys need some merchandise, go hit up Penny and Benny, pennyandbenny.com or Penny and Benny LLC on Instagram. If you guys need some merchandise, he's the guy to go to. And yeah, today's show, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an exciting one. I am so excited to dive into the world that our next guest is so well versed in. And he and I have had many conversations on this show. He's not a first timer by any means, so he's become a veteran in the podcast game. And he is a veteran in so many games in life. He is the Swiss Army knife of human beings. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, our friend and my uncle, Jeffery Veere. Uncle Jeff,
Hey, Alex.
welcome to the show. How are you, brother?
If I were any better, they'd have to tighten my straitjacket.
I love it.
I'd be
Oh,
wiggling around, be a danger to myself and everybody else.
you're looking great, man. Where are you at right now?
I am in Tucson, California.
Very nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm always somewhere else, but hey, you can see the moon in the background there. See that little speck up in the sky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the moon. I'm sitting here on a golf course in the backyard, side yard, actually, I guess, of a very dear friend. And it's a perfect night. It's
Mm,
what I call zero temperature, not
I like
hot,
that.
not cold. It's just absolutely flawlessly comfortable. And I hope you've got that out there in Tucson.
Yeah, well, it's a little hit and miss, but Kayla and I, we go find the zero temperature, so we'll get up into the woods. But thank you for one joining us again. I have so many people that reach out after our episodes to give you your flowers and thank you for the wisdom and love and knowledge and inspiration that you share with us here on People Helping People. And I just want to thank you for being a part of everything that we've done thus far and a big part of the foundation that we poured here.
Well, as you know, it's always a tremendous pleasure for me and an honor because you have started something here that is pretty extraordinary, and it's functioning. It's beautifully diving and provocative, and the guests that you have on are exemplary. And you yourself, Alex, have become such a magnificent wordsmith,
Mm.
and you represent this whole podcast genre with a great deal of respect and talent and skill. We appreciate you so much.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I just yeah, I just love doing this. This is the first thing that's just totally filled my cup. I'm so happy to be here, man, and I'm so happy you're here to join me. And I guess for the people that don't know, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Jeffrey Veere, and I proudly announce that I am Alex J. Ward's uncle. One of my, yeah, so, some people are proud of certain. Well, you know what? That's about as proud as a guy gets, right there. If I had a son, it'd be. I actually do have two sons. It's a pleasure, buddy, as always,
Yeah.
and again, it's a deep honor to be able to share with you.
Great, great. Well, I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with you today because we have been in talks and you have such a busy life. You have so many things on your plate. So for you to take the time out to have this conversation with us, for one, means a lot. But I want to dive into some of the endeavors that you've been embarking on. And yeah, just walk me through what the past few weeks have been for you and tell us what you have going on.
Oh boy, this is very exciting. I've been sort of semi-retired for about 5.5 years or so on the road in an RV, and I've been a hypnotherapist, a clinical hypnotherapist for about 8 or 9 years now, and that's been tremendously exciting and rewarding, and a great deal of pleasure certainly, and the lives that I've helped and changed and helped to rearrange their their thinking process, their subconscious minds. You rewrite old stories uh, so that blocks, inhibitions, behaviors that are unattractive. Uh, a lot of them have been early childhood, typically from 0 to 7, is about the times when we develop our traumas because we're growing. We don't know much of anything, and we're so naive and we're such sponges that everything affects us very, very deeply on a subconscious level.
Mm.
And it's our subconscious that is our very dearest friend. And it's also sort of the hard drive, if you will, to the computer, this computer that we call the mind. So whatever gets programmed in there sticks and it becomes the truth, whether it is or not. It's programmed in. That's where we get disempowering beliefs. That's where we get traumas. That's where we learn bad habits. It's where we learn good habits because of this programming in our subconscious minds. Now, there are some misnomers regarding hypnosis. Most of us are familiar probably only with that which we see on television and movies where somebody will hypnotize somebody to do crazy stuff, like go out and kill people or damage themselves, self mutilation, things of that nature. Not true at all.
Mm.
That cannot happen because even in this hypnotic state, you cannot be commanded to do something against your own character.
Interesting.
It's not possible. And the people who are drawn to this industry and this practice somehow have this innate, deep burning desire to help people. And when we dive into the subconscious mind under hypnosis, we do regression therapy, where we'll take you back to a spot where the trauma originated. Like somebody will come to me with something that triggers them consistently, or they'll be roller coastering in life where they're way up and then they sabotage and they just crash to the bottom and they roll back up and like that. Sort of like Oprah, and she'll readily admit this, roller coasted with her weight
Mm.
because she saw herself. She was convinced. She was personally hypnotized into seeing herself, believing that she was a large woman.
So
So
the hypnosis is essentially a belief in which you believe in so much that it becomes your reality.
precisely.
Mm.
Your subconscious mind dictates your reality.
Oof.
It communicates, and it's your best friend. It wants to keep you out of trouble. So when something, the triggers are typically like, let's say when you were 4 years old, you had a dog attack you. Okay. From that moment on, you have a fear of dogs
Mm.
because you firmly believe one of your very first experiences with a dog is that it was hurting you. So you have this fear of dogs, and of course, dogs can detect that in a heartbeat and they respond to it, which reinforces that belief that dogs are mean or dangerous. until we go back in and set up that scenario at the very first moment when you were 4 years old and get into the mind of the dog. So we will actually swap roles. If it were you, I would say, all right, Alexander, I want you to become that dog right now and watch this young boy. And you tell me what that situation looks like. Well, that kid was so excited and it was hurting me and he didn't realize he was hurting me. And because he was hurting me, I lashed out and I did the only thing which I knew to do was to bark and snarl and bite his hand
Mhm.
because he didn't realize that it was a tremendous irritation. And then we swap roles back. Maybe the kid will chew the dog out and say, "You guys, so and so, right, blah blah blah." So what we've done then, from the viewpoint of the dog, is we have written a brand new story in the computer. We have rewritten that program that says, "Oh, I get it. You got to be nice to dogs."
Mm.
The dog reacted to me. It wasn't my reaction to the dog. So you begin to have a different relationship with animals or whatever the trauma was.
Mm.
Maybe it was a parent or a teacher or a set of circumstances that were out of your control because you're so young that you just didn't recognize what was going on. So we have to reframe and rewrite that story so that as an adult, through an adult mind, we can make better sense of it.
Mm. Gosh, I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I have questions about the process itself,
Yeah.
and then I have questions about things that aren't related to, say, a maybe another person, or maybe they are related to another person, but it's just something that someone had said to you that maybe sat with you for so long that
Right.
you cannot move past it. And I know when I was younger with ego or insecurities or whatever it may have been at a younger age, these things stemmed. And as I get older, I start to look back and realize where they stemmed from. But they stemmed from, say in high school being or middle school being called pizza face or whatever it is, right? And so having the insecurity of having acne or pimples on my face haunted me for so long. And so I guess my question to you is within the hypnotherapy process, when people are having issues with, situations that put them or made them feel a specific way that they're carrying now, today, how do you help them get through that?
Let's just do it right now.
Mm,
You mentioned that because it is still sticking with you.
mm,
That incident when you were young, being called pizza face,
yeah,
was hurtful
very.
enough so that you recall it and rewrite and you retell the story in this very moment,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
All right. Without hypnotizing you, because you'd literally practically go to sleep behind the
You know
mic.
what? Can we do that? Can we,
Well, we
is it
sort of can.
possible
Yeah,
via the
yeah,
internet like this?
yeah.
Oh, I'd like to work on something way more in depth than that then. I've moved past pizza face.
The pizza face, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sure. If you have triggers that are disempowering and behaviors that are unbecoming to your own character, we can talk about it.
100%. Yeah. And I would like to explore that and let you take the floor as somebody that would ask the right questions to get in touch with those feelings inside of me.
Hmm. Well, do you want to start an induction right now?
I
What is it that keeps coming up for you?
Well, I guess that never feeling like I'm doing enough, no matter what my days look like. I never feel as though, no matter how much is done, I don't feel like I'm ever completed for the day. Like my goals are, I could have done more no matter what. So I guess that would be one thing. But do you have like a series of questions that you ask somebody to uncover these things? Or is this something that they bring to you that they're like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with?
Typically, what people tell me they're struggling with is not really the issue.
Mm,
It's something much deeper that is so subconscious and so hidden that they cannot consciously bring it up. Virtually every time we do this, I will say, "You kind of surprised yourself, didn't you?" And they go, "Yeah, I had no idea that was going on back there." But it's uh, the, there are behaviors that we that we want to work on. Okay, like in your case, this emotional feeling that you're just not enough, or it's not going to be enough, or maybe it stems from a bit of uh, like uh, a self-imposed flagellation, like you beat yourself up a little bit because you could always have done better.
mm.
And there's something back there, somebody or some set of circumstances wherein you did the very, very best that you possibly could. Maybe it was a third grade or something like that, where you did your very, very best, and the teacher said, "Oh, that's trash. What, what the heck were you thinking?" You know, that type of thing.
Mm.
And when we rewrite that story, I could go through the process, and also there's some other syndromes that pop up as we speak in an hypnotic state, that would reveal themselves, and then I could work on those specifically. But if if you'd like to, we can go into a very mild state of hypnosis right now. I can do a short induction on you.
That would be amazing. And I
Yeah,
think I'm getting excited. Okay. So that would be incredible. And I feel as though maybe instead of focusing on the things that are trauma induced or things that are negative that have maybe been bringing me down, but maybe utilizing this therapy to accentuate the good things.
that's precisely what I was going to suggest. See there, you're already we're already hooked up.
Mm, I
We
like
are
it.
already on the same vibe in a state of hypnosis just by talking about it.
Wow.
Because that's exactly what I was going to suggest, is that we go into a very mild state of hypnotic trance,
Mm.
and I just help you enhance the skills and the character who you already are, so that we begin to strip the veil of insecurity, guilt, and shame.
Ooh, hold on. Let me hit one of these. Yes, sir. I would love that. I would love that. And before we get started, could you give me a brief, or is that kind of against the grain to give somebody a brief overview of what this looks like and what to expect?
Sure, sure. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, let's just give ourselves a little bit of an example. All right, I want you to put your feet squarely on the floor where you are, Alex.
Should I take my shoes off?
It doesn't matter. No, you're
Okay.
fine. And I want you to put your hands down on the tops of your thighs, like on your lap, both
Okay.
hands, and just sort of begin relaxing your body.
Okay.
Just relax. Take a nice deep breath. Pull it in, let it out gently and naturally. Begin to feel your body becoming heavier, more and more relaxed as I speak. Focus on my voice. You've already closed your eyes. Let them settle in, heavier. I want you to feel a wave of relaxation starting at your head, moving slowly down your body, like warm honey flowing across your forehead, relaxing every muscle, sinew, and fiber. With each and every easy breath you take and every heartbeat, you relax even more, flowing down through your eyebrows, your nose, your cheekbones. With each and every easy breath you take, deeper, more relaxed. Every muscle, sinew, and fiber begins to feel as loose as a handful of rubber bands. As that wave of warm honey flows down through your neck, your shoulders, your chest, down, down, down. Feel your arms getting heavier and heavier. Feel your chest. Feel yourself breathing gently and slowly. With each and every easy breath you take and every heartbeat, you fall more deeply into a state of total relaxation, peace, and comfort. Today is past, and tomorrow is 1,000 miles away. But right here, right now, we have a moment of perfect peace, perfect quiet, and perfect relaxation. Way down now, going down through your stomach, your hips, relaxing more and more with each and every easy breath you take. Now, you could resist, but that's not why you're here. So relax with each and every easy breath and heartbeat, even more. Way down now. Down through your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves. All the way down into your toes. Everything is quiet and heavy, and every muscle, sinew, and fiber is completely relaxed like a handful of loose rubber bands. Now I'm going to count from 10 to 1, and you'll relax even more. 10, top of your head. That wave of warm honey is flowing down through your forehead and your eyes. 9, 8, down through your cheekbones, your neck. 7, 6, down through your chest, your waist. 5, down through your arms, your hands, all the way down into your legs. 5, 4, 3, down into your calves, your feet, even your toes are becoming extremely heavy. All the way down. 6, 5, 4. Now, I want you to picture yourself at the top of a small set of stairs, at the bottom of which is a beautiful white puffy cloud. And with each and every number to 1, you'll step down those stairs and relax into that cloud. 5, 4, 3, down the stairs. 2 and 1, lying down in the cloud. It's comfortable, it wraps its arms around you, and you watch it drifting toward the horizon. It's a beautiful sunset. Below is a green field of beautiful grass and a stream running through it. And this stream is following that cloud as it goes off into the distance. It becomes smaller and smaller and smaller toward the horizon. And suddenly, totally disappears. And right here and right now, Alex, I want you to picture yourself on a stage as the most powerful and unconcerned, totally in charge. Picture an avatar, someone who you admire, someone who you have thought of as a mentor. Could be someone in reality or somebody you make up. I want you to picture yourself on stage with them and then become them. The mannerisms, the politeness, the courage, the confidence, the intellect, everything about them has now become you. And you are even more adept. You are even better at speaking. You have even better confidence in yourself. And the flaws that you have as a human being are insignificant. As a matter of fact, they're sort of a pleasure because it makes you even more human, which is delightful and endearing. And it diffuses people's negative behavior towards you. They fall in love with you because you are human, not in spite of it. And even more, you have that ability to see into people's hearts through the bad behavior, see into their hearts at their primal desire to be loved, understood, and appreciated, and know that you have the ability to satisfy those needs even more so than you ever have in the past. See yourself being even more kind, even more appreciative, even more gracious and humble, and yet with a stature of power and confidence, with all the abilities of a wise, wise man, and even wiser as we speak. And from this moment on, you will have a deep, burning desire to see the world as a much more pleasant place. You're going to fall in love with yourself even more. You're going to fall in love with your family at an even deeper level. Your girlfriend, your friends, and the entire world. You'll be able to see right through that bad behavior into that heart that desires to be loved, understood, and appreciated. And you'll know how to satisfy that in them. And in doing so, you'll do it for yourself as well. And you will advocate for world peace for the rest of your life. And you will never, ever get behind the wheel of a car intoxicated with alcohol or any other substance. And you will never text and drive. And you will encourage others to do the same. And these suggestions will last for the rest of your life. And you will become even more powerful within them with each and every passing year, month, week, and day. And you will become an even greater, more solid, more respectful, and respectable human being for the rest of your life. And you will be joyful and happy and create an atmosphere and a vibe of joy everywhere you go. And there you have it. Now, on the count of 5, you will be wide awake. 1, feeling your hands and toes, feeling a little bit of a prickle there. 2, you're more aware of your body. 3, you're beginning to be aware of the room and the sounds around you. 4, your eyes are beginning to feel like they're bathed in cool spring water. And 5, fully awake. Fully awake. Wake up now. Eyes wide open. Take a big deep breath. Ah, there you go. Wake up. Now, there there may have been some of you who are witnessing this who may have fallen into a bit of a trance yourselves, and hopefully you've come out of it with that. And if so, I'm delighted to have helped you in those areas of self improvement and
Mm.
carry on for life.
So, hold on one second. That was extremely interesting, and I don't know if maybe my mind is I don't know if an in-person or if my mind is wrapped around the podcast and the show and the sounds and everything
Yeah.
from the external world that doesn't allow me to slip deeply into that. Because
Well,
I
that was,
do,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, go ahead, break that down for me. If there's people that are less or more apt to being able to be hypnotized.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are all hypnotized all the time.
Mm,
There's a misnomer too. See, some people say, "Well, I can't be hypnotized." Well, that very statement is a hypnotic statement because you've already made a decision, and that concept that prevails in you is hypnotic in itself. If you have any belief whatsoever, you have been hypnotized. Hypnosis is simply the programming of the subconscious mind. And you cannot have a subconscious mind that is not programmed.
mm,
So that is the hypnotic effect. Now, I told you that we were going to go very lightly into a hypnotic state because I don't want you, you know, collapsing there behind the microphone. And also there were some things that I left out because I didn't want you to, but I wanted you to kind of get the concept and the idea of that,
yeah.
how that works. I could have gone more deeply into the sounds around you will only make you fall much more deeply into a state of total relaxation. And I could have mentioned that you'll have thoughts going through your mind, you'll have distractions. Just let them go and clear your mind. But I didn't want to go there because I just didn't want to get too, I mean,
Yeah.
it is a live podcast, so
Yes.
I don't want to get too crazy.
Yeah, and I
But
think I think maybe I I would love to do something like that, just one on one between you and I,
mhm,
because I could start to feel myself letting those thoughts go for a moment. But
mhm.
then I quickly came back to the fact that we were on a live show. And I think that those infiltrating thoughts were a little bit heavier than the moment.
Yeah, it's we are easily distracted, particularly in this situation. You know, you've got to stay in charge. You have to maintain some validity, and you have to stay lucid. And you're aware that you're on a live podcast, so it
Yeah.
makes it. You know, you're not going to. We're not going to accomplish that
Yeah.
doing this.
I'm
But
s-
just to give you the idea, and surprisingly enough, what little we did is going to have an effect on you. And I want you to report back to me later how that feels. Where in the past you would have felt a certain way, like not being quite enough, or in that imposter syndrome.
mm,
And now, with this newfound empowerment, you will feel considerably less like an imposter and not enough.
mm.
Will you will see how that has impacted you in the future.
Wow. Well, thank you for doing that. I this so interesting to me through and through. And there's so many questions running through my head right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to boil them down in a very eloquent manner because I feel as though what you are doing is guiding people to proper manifestation. The way that you're stating to put yourself in the shoes of the person that you either idolize or want to become, or maybe you're making that person up, but seeing yourself, visualizing, feeling those feelings of being that person, of empowering love and whatever it may be that that person is trying to achieve. This is the guidance to allow people to tap into manifestation.
Absolutely. Our minds are so tremendously powerful, and words are extraordinarily powerful. There are verses in the Bible that say, for instance, don't cry raka at someone. even at a distance, from a distance.
Never heard. What does that mean?
Means, don't speak ill of someone.
Mm,
Don't be a gossip,
mm,
and don't swear at somebody or speak ill of them, even at distance, because it does in fact affect them in
mm,
a strongly negative way. We know through quantum physics that we are deeply effective. They have measured it to within 2.5 kilometers, have measured the effect. And those of us who are intuitive and sensitive will feel that, and it will have an effect on us. It's like talking to your plants and or freezing water that you've spoken to gently and lovingly freezes differently than water that you've sworn at or you write something negative on it. That's why, well, I write positive things on the water that I put in the refrigerator and the milk cartons and all of that because we're mostly water, and it's been shown that water will actually take on a physical vibration depending on our verbiage and our state of mind and our state of being. If we're joyous and happy, and it's just like dogs, you've met dogs who, if you're in a bad mood, they're kind of standoffish, right?
mm.
But if you're in a great mood, man, then they just come wiggling right up to you and snuggle with you and all that. Well, it, we're mostly water, and a lot of that intuitiveness has to do is communicated through the water
Mm.
systems. And in my book, Demystifying Your Seven Senses, I speak of the intuitions and the spiritual as six and seven, those the sixth and seventh senses. And a great deal of that conduit is vibrational. And the frequencies of our verbiage and our hearts and our minds and our states are are the communication that we have. It's not just body language. It's not just the verbiage. It is the origin of it that manifests the reality in that other person and within yourself. So that's a very long way to say yes, manifestation, because we speak it into existence.
That's so interesting. Every aspect of this is something that I'm thinking about consistently within my life. And my girlfriend and I, Kayla, and I see you out there in the comments, Kayla, I love you. But we are really focusing on not only the physical aspects of our lives and taking care of our bodies with our diets,
Mhm.
but taking moments to breathe, clear the mind. And that exercise that you just gave me a whole different outlook on manifestation in putting myself in the shoes of the person that I want to be and feeling those feelings. And I think that what you just did for me completely changed my outlook on what manifestation looks and feels like.
Mm,
So I really appreciate that.
mm,
And I also wanted to touch on the fact that breathing and feeling the earth, feeling the vibrations around you, how that seems to be a lost art anymore.
mm,
And I think that more and more people are coming to that. They're coming back to that because I feel like that was the original. I mean, there's spirituality in that. Like you said, there's real tangible and spiritual enlightenment. There's so many things that can come from that that are really incredible. But gosh, I completely lost my train of thought because I have so many questions running through my head.
I can hear you saying that the pendulum is swinging. We we
Mm,
are, we are on the threshold of a great reset, and I think that most anybody listening to this podcast has a sense of that, or you probably wouldn't be on this particular podcast. There's a great reset about to take place, and the pendulum is swinging back towards humanity and a connectedness. We've lost this heart to heart contact and connected feeling with people, and we want that back so desperately because that's where we were born. That's what we were born of, and that's what we were born for, is to connect at a deep heart and soul level. And in order to do that, we have to first think about it, decide that we want it, and then get curious.
Mm.
How can I be even more kind, sensitive, understanding, empathetic? How can I be even more transparent? How can I be even more honest with myself and others
Mm. Yeah.
without being offensive?
I love that you brought that up and you changed Kayla and I's outlook on the way that we talk about the things that we're going to implement or become even better at.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that the ripple effect of what you're doing is real. And these moments that you're sharing with us and with our audience, I know that I'm not the only one taking things from this, taking notes and running back to the lab and, pouring all these things that you've instilled in us into the beakers and trying to come up with our own concoctions, and making it work for us. So I'm super grateful. And we also, before we get any further here, we have some comments of the people that are here joining us today. Thank you, everybody that's joining the podcast. We just did a hypnotherapy session with professional hypnotherapist Jeffery Veere, and I'm feeling good. I'm
Yeah.
feeling real good. Kayla Coffee Studios, we see you out there. Love you, Kayla. Thank you for being here. Only Truth and Love asks, how are we eternally different if we have eternal relationships? Interesting question.
How are we eternally different if we have eternal relationships?
Mm,
Well, I love that question. Thank you for that. And
mm.
in fact, we do have eternal relationships. You've touched on something very provocative and very, very honestly true, because the philosophers for thousands of years have believed in what we now recognize as quantum. Quantum physics says that we are all connected
The Akashic, yeah.
in the Akashic. Also, in the Akashic and in the quantum, the Akashic is the record of everything that's ever been said, thought, concept, everything. It's in the Akashic.
Mm.
And the quantum is the conduit through which we are all connected to the Akashic and to one another. So, and it's eternal, it does not go away. It is a permanent record, indelibly recorded and categorized in the Akashic.
Mm.
So, all of our relationships are eternal. And when we get in touch with that, when we own it, when we recognize it, all that we contribute to the world is recorded there eternally. And that is the encyclopedia, if you will, or the web from which our future generations are going to draw wisdom and intellect.
Oh, wow. Wow. Great question. Incredible answer. Jeez. I'm sure you're getting used to hearing all those claps. You've been on stage recently, huh?
Yeah. Hey, well, I do have some new news, but we'll go on with some questions.
Yeah. Let's get to these comments and then let's break it down for the people. Rizzle Music, Uplift State of Mind. We see you out there. Thank you for being here. My first ever podcast appearance was on Uplift State of Mind, a full hour-long sit-down conversation with me being asked questions, taking off my host hat, and it was so fun. It was so fun. His podcast is It's a mental health podcast.
Oh,
And so for two men to sit down and talk about the struggles and talk about the triumphs and talk about trials and tribulations and how we individually got through things and how we relate on those things, and it was really inspiring. So thank you, Rizzle Music, for being here, and thank you for having me on your podcast. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. He also says super interesting stuff. Absolutely. Kayla Coffee Studios says good note to sorry, we're getting to these late, you guys. Good note to self. Thank you for that. She also says I really love. Oh, she says I really would love to get your book. Why don't you go ahead and plug where people can get your book?
well, it's on Amazon Kindle, and it was self-published. So there are all kinds of mistakes. And you talk about human, man, it's going to be very human. But the content is there, and if you go on and ask for demystifying your seven senses, what's probably going to come up is awakening your seven senses. But it is going to be Jeffery Van de Veere, the author, and the content is going to be there. It's not beautifully done. I have it with a publisher now to reorganize it and bring it out in paperback.
Great.
But you can get the content. At least you can have the content.
Great. Great. Thank you for that question, Kayla. And yeah, if anybody's interested in getting a book that's going to expand and broaden your horizons and get you thinking about things, go give it a read. Rich, we see you out there. Thank you for joining us. Legend in the house. We love you, Rich. We appreciate you coming to watch the show tonight. Let's see. Kayla Coffee Studio says, speaking things into existence. If your dialogue is negative, your life reflects. Ooh,
Amen.
well said. Let's see. Rizzle Music also says some major self growth tools in here. Absolutely. Thank you guys again for leaving a bunch of comments, being involved in the conversation. I agree. I agree with you, Rizzle. That's absolutely right. And I hope that people take this podcast and they watch it back and they sit with whatever we just did. Sit with that moment and close your eyes. Go through that exercise. Go through a hypnotic exercise to envision yourself in the place that you want to be and utilize that over and over again. I mean, really, you could just run that. How long was that? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? You could run that 5, 10 minute clip back over and over and start flexing those muscles and getting used to seeing yourself in these places that you want to be and becoming the person that you want to be as well. So, yeah, I agree. Some major self growth tools in here for sure. Thank you for that, Rizzle. We appreciate you. But let's talk about some announcements from the man himself.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's dive
Oh,
into it. The floor is yours.
well, I have recently been trained by Mark Usick.
Mm,
He is probably the foremost stage hypnotist in the country. So I did the last 5 days of the Orange County Fair and was engaged in 15 stage hypnosis performances at the Orange County Fair.
wow.
It's a blast. I
Yeah.
mean, it is so much fun, and it's not just about the fun, obviously, because it's life changing.
Sure.
And but it's a broader audience. It's exposure. It gets me in the door because one on one is great, but when I'm speaking to 400 or 500 people, and they begin to understand the power of suggestion,
Mm,
then we can engage in a much deeper, even more profound way, either one on one or by teaching them how to do some self talk, which is how I want to wrap this up.
mm,
Um, the self talk is primary. Everything that comes after I am becomes who you are.
ooh, I love that.
So when you say, I am an anxious person, or I am not good at, or
Yeah.
I am always, or I am never.
Mm,
fill in the blanks. As you speak that, your subconscious mind simply receives it like a computer receives it.
mm,
It is now programmed in. I'm such an idiot.
mm,
I'm such a douche. Why am I always doing that? Well, if you ask yourself, why am I always screwing up? Why am I always picking the right person to have relationships with? Why am I never this? Why am I never that? Your subconscious mind, which is your very best friend, is going to give you an answer. It's going to say, because you are a really bad judge of character.
mm,
And you'll go, oh, well, yeah, okay, I guess you're right. I'm a bad judge of character, and that's why I keep choosing the wrong people to be with.
mm,
Or, why am I always procrastinating? Well, because you're a lazy so and so and you really don't want to get off it and you really don't think you're enough. And you go, oh, okay, I got it. Thank you. Appreciate that. You have your answer.
You will always internally answer those questions, good or bad.
Your subconscious will tell you because
Mm,
it's your best friend. All it wants to do is answer the question. Like when you go to your computer, how do I do so and so? You go to YouTube. How do I, torque down the heads on a flathead Ford? What's going to tell you? It's just going to tell you.
yeah.
So when you ask yourself, why am I always? Why am I never? Or I am always, or I am never, or I am this, you describe yourself, it's going to continue to program that into your subconscious mind. So the self talk, you can even do a voice memo of affirmations. Put your headphones on and listen to it every night. Do 10 or 12 self affirmations like, I am even more powerful than I've ever been in my life. I am stronger, wiser, more clever today than I have ever been in my life, and I will be more so tomorrow and the next day and the next year.
Mm,
I have even greater abilities to touch people's lives in a positive and healthy way and uplift people. And I am continuously searching for answers to go on the quest to answer the question about how to live a better life and how to help other people live better lives, even more so than I ever have and will continue to do so for the rest of my life.
ooh, so good.
See, just things of that nature. Now, can you imagine yourself listening to that every single night
Yeah.
in your own voice?
Yeah.
That's the I am. That's the great I am.
That's incredible. And that's such a powerful, powerful tool, what you're talking about right there. And you're absolutely right. Your belief systems being your reality, your self-talk being answered by your subconscious, and making up excuses for things or giving you valid points as to why. So to break those chains of the things that are holding you back and that seem as though maybe they're seems as though maybe those wounds are too open to heal. It starts with the self-talk, starts with being able to reassure yourself of the things that you are and rewire those beliefs. And that is really something special. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am because I am fired up. It's so good. It's so good. So what's on the horizon then? What is next? You have all these people, you're on stage, you're guiding them, you're learning from these gurus. What's going on next?
Oh boy, I love to allow the universe to unfold in front of me
Mm,
and just embrace it for whatever it gives me. I want very much to be in, even house parties. I'll go to house parties, conventions, uh, county fairs, whatever it is, to do these hypnosis stage presentations because it's a blast and everybody has a lot of fun. It's very entertaining.
yeah.
And it's an opportunity to finish up with some suggestions like I've given you so that I affect lots and lots of people. And one of the things that I'm I sound like a beauty pageant uh, contestant, but you know, uh, I believe that world peace is possible.
Mm, preach.
Uh, I mean, what if, just what if, we could fall in love like our dogs fall in love with everyone immediately and unconditionally?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the next question is, why not?
Mm,
Would there be a downside?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
how about if we all fell in love with each other
Yeah.
and we overlook and we could see through the bad behavior to the heart beneath that says, "I want to be loved, understood, and appreciated,"
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
and to soften us so that we can ingest and explore the beauty of who everyone is at the core, at the beginning, as if they were freshly born, if they were a brand spanking new child.
Yeah. Mm, I love that. That's so it's so well said, and I'm right there with you. I really feel as though this platform is allowing me to make my mark in the way that I think is on a grand scale. And I foresee what's happening with this. I foresee the impact that this is going to have. And I know that I've found my purpose, and my purpose is to be in service of others in one way or another. And you're a big part of us being in service of the people and showing our love and giving without expectation and just doing what we can do to spread love and peace and understanding across the world. So I really appreciate you. But before I let you go, can you tell the people where they can find you?
Well, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, pretty much anything under the name Jeff or Jeffrey Van de Veer. And you'll see some of my little blurbs that I've put out as videos. And some of them are just sort of fun and giggly, and some of them are a little more provocative.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this out there. If if you want to get in touch with me personally, I have no problem at all with that, and I will happily recite my phone number. If you want to write it down, give me a call. I am available to anybody who wants to sit and chat about whatever it is. So, if you're ready, here we go.
Go
On
ahead.
three. And the number is 714 655 7365. 714 655 Jeffrey Vanderveer. Give me a holler. I'd love to talk to you. And you know what? You probably have a lot you can teach me. And
Oh.
I'm anxious to hear that too.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need anything at all, if you just have some questions or need a great conversation, give Jeff a call. He's, just an arms wide open individual, and I'm just grateful to have somebody in my life that I get to not only call my uncle but a brother. And you mean the world to me, man. And I cherish these conversations that we have because you're really making an impact here, and understand that your impact is a ripple effect. So as you continue to do what you do, we continue to grow. And it's really a beautiful thing. So thank you for being a part of that.
Well, it's indeed my pleasure. And once again, Alex, I commend you on spearheading this, getting getting putting the plow out there and tilling the soil and making this happen. I know it's been challenging at times, and I know that you meet your challenges head on with optimism and encouragement to yourself and others. And we really do applaud you and
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
That means so much. I am so grateful. And ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for being here. Rich says, thank you for all your wisdom, Jeff.
Ah,
We appreciate you.
fine.
But yeah, is there anything else before we let you go that you would like to leave with the people?
Make sure that your verbiage, your vibration, the frequency of your conversation within yourself as well as verbal is positive, that what it manifests is goodness and love, because every single thing that we say and even think has a result, and that result is going to be our legacy.
Oh, gosh, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Veere. I love you, Uncle Jeff. Thank you
I
so
love
much
you.
for gracing
Love
us.
you, brother.
I'll
I
talk
love
to
you.
you soon. All right. Come on. Come on. That's why we do this. Right there. That's why we do this. I am so grateful for that moment that we just had. And the beauty of it is we can go back and watch that anytime that we please. I hope that you guys got as much from this episode of People Helping People as I did. And as you guys know, this is chapter 2 of People Helping People. This is the give back, where we are sponsoring kids to go to Camp ASDA, AZDA. As a type 1 diabetic myself, it is something that is near and dear to my heart. Sending these kids with type 1 diabetes to go to a camp where they can be surrounded by other type 1 diabetics. Not only are all the other kids type 1 diabetics, but the camp counselors, the medical staff, everybody that's around them. And so it would be the first time in their lives if it's their first time going to camp, the first time in their lives being surrounded with support, community, understanding, and being able to build real friendships, lifelong friendships, and hopefully, just like Amanda Cardenas, shout out to her. Her first time going was 24 years ago, changed her whole life, and now she's an advocate for type 1 diabetes. But hopefully, do that same thing for a child where they can turn the leaf and become advocates for others to do the same. So if that is something that calls to you, I put the link, the QR code here on the screen. Gosh, it's all backwards. It's somewhat down here. Here we go. I put it on the screen here. You can scan that code and donate. Our goal is to send one kid to Camp ASDA, but I believe with the community that we have and the support, we'll be able to send more than one. So I'm not asking anybody to donate, but I'm saying if that's something that calls to you, here is the link, and we appreciate everybody. On top of that, at the end of chapter 2, we are having an auction. To 100% of the proceeds of this auction are going to go to sponsoring kids for Camp ASDA. We have world-renowned artists, Michael Carini, Nick Boltman, Kayla Coffey, your boy B, Teresa Vanderveer, Tracy Ward. We have so many artists that are donating pieces for this event. And we don't have that big of a viewer base. So for you guys to join this auction, you could win incredible pieces of art for next to nothing. And like I said, all the proceeds go to these kids. So I am so grateful for everybody that's donating. I am so grateful for the whole community, everybody that's joining us in these streams. I'm so grateful for all of our guests being a part of our podcast. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of episode 13 of chapter 2. Until next time, deuces.
Yeah. What's everybody fighting for? Why can't people help the question.